boys and girls, welcome back for Wednesday's math video. So go ahead, get out your math books, and you can open up to page 273. That's 273. So today's lesson is all about solving word problems with addition facts all the way up until 20. So let's look at our I can statement on page 273. Ready? Mirrors on. I can solve different kinds of addition and subtraction problems. All right, mirrors off. Good job. Okay, so go ahead and open up to this page, but before we dig into what's in our book, I have a problem up here, and I wonder if you can help me figure this out. So it says, there are some toys on the shelf. Does it tell me how many toys? No, it just says some. So let's keep that in mind. There are some toys on the shelf. I put 5 more toys on the shelf. Now there are 13. So I know now there's 13. 13 is my total, right? My whole. How many toys were on the shelf to start with? Now, I know part of my information. I don't know the whole thing. So I need to think, well, it starts with some. So let's just draw our empty box. So what plus 5 more? I know that 5 is in my problem because it tells me right here. So what plus 5 would equal 13? So let's think. I start at a number and I go up 5. How many to get to 13? I could even do this the other way. I could say, okay, I'm gonna start at 5 and I'm gonna see how many hops it takes to get to 13. Let's try it this way. Let's say, well, here I am at 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you see what number I landed on? 13. So I went up 8 hops to land on 13. So I know that 8 is that missing number. Here's another way that I could do it. I could take my bigger number. Remember, the big number always comes first. And I could subtract. I could say, well, let's do 13 minus the other number that I already know of the story problem. I know 5. So let's say 13 minus 5 and figure out what that equals. So I'm going to grab my cubes. I know you all have your cubes too. Sent you home with a baggie filled with them. All right, let me get them. Oh, goodness. All right, let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I need 13. 11, 12, 13. Now, what am I subtracting? 13 minus, good, 5. So that means I'm going to take away 5 cubes. 1, 2, 3, they all came off at once. 4 and 5. Okay, so let's see how many I'm left with. We'll see if we get the same number. We got 8 here. Let's see if it matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, it did, didn't it? So I know that there were 8 toys on that shelf to start out with. Then when I put 5 more, that equaled 13. So there's different ways, just like we talked about yesterday, there's different strategies to solve these problems. So you can use whichever one works best for you. Now on page 273, it has kind of the same problem as this one that I just did. It says there are some books on a shelf. Aiden puts 4 more books on the shelf. Now there are 12 books. How many books were on the shelf to start start. Use objects, drawings, or equations to show your thinking. So go ahead and do that on page 273. I want you to think about how you could figure that out. There were some books on a shelf, then Aiden put 4 more, and now there are 12. If you need to use what I did to help you with this first problem, go for it. All right, so after you've done that one, let's take a look at page 274. At the top, remember, they always kind of review what the lesson is about, and they show us different ways we can solve. So he tells me Hunter has some pencils. He gives 6 of them to Margot. Now he has 5 pencils. So we need to think about how many he had to start with. So they have, right here at the top, you can see it in your book also, something minus 6 equals 5. He says, well, Hunter gives 6 pencils away and he has 5 left. So they drew a picture to show that you can think addition to help you subtract. They thought, well, what plus 6 equals 11 total? And they figured out that 5 plus 6 is 11. So 11 minus 6 is 5. So that showed me that Hunter started with 11 pencils. So for today, go ahead and do pages, where do we start? 273 to 276. There's spaces for on each problem for you to draw a quick picture. If you need to draw number sentences like I did, or if you are just working on your number line, you can show that too. Make sure that your grown-up takes a picture of your completed work for today and sends it to me on Class Dojo so I can give you credit for being at school today. And also, don't forget, make sure you are writing in your December journal also for those December writing prompts. 3 sentences, at least 3 sentences. Best handwriting ever. Capital at the beginning, period or question mark at the end, and what do you need in between each word? Do you remember? Good, finger space. All right, boys and girls, I will see you tomorrow.